We have been talking about the Dake Annotated Reference Bible and its immense amount of data, and we have shown you some of it already. Um, Another thing we haven't mentioned that much about also, I noticed in here, just in reading it, that he does one thing in the Old Testament, one thing in the New Testament. Every chapter in the Bible, when you see the chapter number, for example, and then you look just to the left of it, you will see another number. For example, let's see what we've got here. Now we're in the book of Leviticus, and Leviticus chapter 7. Now, here's Leviticus chapter 7, right here. And right there, to the left of that, you will see you notice that? You will see another number right next to it. You see that number? But what that means is every chapter in the Bible gets a number. So when you are in a chapter, you will know that you are looking at a chapter number. So this tells you how many chapters are in the whole Bible. When you go through the Old Testament, every chapter is numbered, and in the New Testament, all the chapters are numbered. Now, what's also interesting, for example, if we're in a particular book and we come to the end of it, saying we're in the book of Deuteronomy, which we are now, then what he does, in addition to all of the notes he has on the side and on the bottom, which are excellent, and he also is very careful, by the way, about the meaning of the Hebrew and Greek words. He makes that very clear in here, and which is very helpful. But also, once you're done with a particular book, then he will do a summary of the whole book, which you see right here. And then what he does after that, he takes the whole book of Deuteronomy and goes through it with what he calls notes on Deuteronomy. Now, this is very, very long in all of this. Deuteronomy notes continued and so forth. And all of this is almost articles, you could say, and notes, but it's almost like you're entering a classroom or a seminary, and you're getting all kinds of extremely, extremely helpful notes on Deuteronomy. And this happens with every single book in here. He goes all the way through with these rather long notes. And sometimes in these side references next to a book, he will mention a subject. And then he will say, see page blah, blah, blah. And that takes you to one of these notes. Now, not all of them are in there. These are all notes to read that you might want to read for everything in there. But the notes are extremely good and detailed about everything. And I'll give you an example of one when we come in next time, because to do that, you will find, let me see, you will find some things that are rather interesting as far as notes go. So I will get into Deuteronomy. I think that's the one we'll look at next for notes and continued and so forth. So, for example, here is one of the notes. 56th thing God promises to do. Now, this is out of the book of Deuteronomy. And here is a whole list, 56 long, of what God would do in the book of Deuteronomy, and so forth. And it shows you not only where it is in Deuteronomy, but where it is in other books. He does this with every single book of the Bible. That's an immense section that is even larger than some of the original. Every single book is done this way. That in itself is a separate and amazing study. We will continue this shortly.